What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an album review to do for you, and I'm going to be talking to you about the new album from the band Gigan, entitled Undulating Waves of Rainbiotic Iridescence. This is released on Willowtip Records. Now, if you're not too familiar with this band, they are originally based out of Tampa, Florida, but are now based out of Chicago, Illinois. And the best way to describe the sound of this band would be a very elaborate, progressive, technical style of death metal. Yeah. When it comes to bands in death metal, none do this style of monstrous, epic storytelling better than Gigan does. Of course, I reference their band name because if you are familiar, of course, with Godzilla and many other kaiju monsters of that like, Gigan is a very notable and well-established sort of creature to come from those realms. Very freakish, very intimidating, very strong. And I believe with this band, they really do bring all of those aspects and ideas coming together perfectly. My first introduction to this band was their 2011 second full-length album, Quasi-Hallucinogenic Sonic Landscapes. That album was a true eye-opener and a true ear-destroyer for sure. I really enjoyed that album a lot, from the riffs to the vocals to the great concepts of the lyrics, the musical styles and compositions, the overall production value. It was just an overall amazing album. And of course, going backwards into this band's body of work, it led me to their very amazing 2008 debut, The Order of the False Eye. That was an amazing record and something I feel a lot more people need to be checking out and listening to. But yeah, the last time we had heard something from Gigan was back in 2013 with their third full-length multi-dimensional Fractal Sorcery and Super Science. That album was something completely different in regards to what Gigan are all about. A little bit of a different color scheme when it came to the album cover art, a new vocalist, a little bit of a revamping in the lineup. And while it was a different album in certain instances, it maintained the qualities that you would best know from Gigan, and that ended up turning out to be a very awesome album in and of itself. But yeah, we turn to a new chapter in the Gigan saga here with their fourth full-length album entitled Undulating Waves of Rainbiotic Iridescence. It's 8 tracks, and it clocks in at around 55 minutes in length, and this is without question the most ballsy, elaborate, and very well-constructed piece of songwriting this band has done to date. And I honestly think that this is Gigan at their most refined, their most focused, and their most energetic. This is definitely a cinematic listening experience from first song all the way to last. I really had an amazing time listening to this full-length album, and if you thought Gigan was where they're at now, where they're noticed, I think this album is going to get people talking even more about this band than they really than they are at right now. More people need to be listening to a band like Gigan. But yeah, one of the main reasons why Gigan has been working so wonderfully and so well over the years is credited to probably this band's long-standing founding member, guitar player, bassist, songwriter, composition person, Eric Hersman. Yeah, he is a definite crafty veteran when it comes to extreme music. When it came to his work with bands such as Diabolic and Hate Eternal for a brief period of time. But he is a very, very intelligent guitar player, and he showcases why he's so good at doing the riff work and bass work that he does here. Throughout the entirety of the 8 tracks and the lengthiness of everything, it is just a joy to listen to. I really, really love how this guy handles the guitar playing. I mean, you hear it on the opening track, Wade Forward Through Matter and Backwards Through Time. It's just a very amazing song to get the ball rolling. I love the riffs. I love the psychoticness of everything. To a track like Ocular Wavelengths, Floral Obstructions, just the just how frantic and nerve-wracking some of these riffs sound is really, really amazing. And he holds your attention throughout these really lengthy and over-the-top sort of riff compositions. It just sounds really wonderful. The lengthy tracks really shine out very well here. The shorter length songs work out pretty good too, like on Elemental Transmography. Really, really killer songwriting and riff work going on those songs. The bass work is very good too. It definitely ties into the franticness and craziness of the guitar playing. Everything blends together perfectly and sounds wonderful. I think it's awesome, awesome riff and bass work throughout. When it comes to the drumming, like the previous album, they brought the same person who played on the last record back here, and he does another phenomenal, even better job this time around. The fills, the double bass, the blast beats, the progressive tinge breaks. There's just a lot of stamina and endurance in this drum performance, and it really does show. Going back to the opening track and even the closing track of this record in between throughout Form and Void, you just get some really, really wonderful drum work throughout the majority of this album. It's drum work that holds your attention. When things need to be fast, they definitely go fast. When things need to be progressive and mid-paced, he handles this drum performance so well and so fluidly. I love this drum performance a lot. And when it comes to the vocals, I'm pretty sure this is the fourth full length to have a fourth sort of vocalist. There have been different vocalists throughout Gigan's existence. And this guy that they brought in here is an absolute maniac. I believe he's in a band called Elbow Deep, which is sort of like a death grindy sort of band. He has a very, very intimidating sort of look and stage presence. And with his vocal style on here, I definitely think it fits Gigan's style perfectly. His low guttural growls, his high-ranged growls, his frantic screams, his wails, it just really sounds amazing. I'm almost getting a little bit of a Malignancy-esque sort of feeling in this guy's voice. I love that Jekyll and Hyde sort of aspect of his voice where things begin to sound a little crazy and then things just get off the rails insane. I love this guy's vocal style. I love the lyric writing. I love the storytelling, and I definitely think that this guy is a very, very suitable fit to this band's style of death metal. So overall, this is probably one of the best things I've heard Gigan do yet. If you are a fan of this band's body of work, you're going to find something amazing to enjoy with Undulating Waves of Rainbiotic Iridescence. I think this is one of the best things Gigan has done yet, and I think that this is the album that will push them into the proper stratosphere of what progressive and technical death metal is all about. This is definitely one of those bands that you should not sleep on, not one bit. So if I had to pick any personal favorite tracks, I would definitely have to say Wade Forward Through Matter and Backwards Through Time, Ocular Wavelengths from Floral Obstructions, Hideous Wailing of the Ronoan during Nightshade, and the closing track In Between throughout Form and Void. Absolutely wonderful tracks. These are lengthy songs, but these are songs that are definitely worth listening to all the way through. This whole album is worth listening to all the way through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you a link in the description box as to how you can get a hold of this album and listen to it. I will leave you a link to the Gigan Bandcamp page where you can listen to this album in its entirety, hear it for yourself, and be your own judge as to whether you think it's worthy of being purchased or not. You can stream it by digitally, and it is available as a CD and 2LP vinyl set. There's also merch, shirts, long sleeves, and hoodies if you're into that sort of thing too. Definitely lots of ways to listen and get a hold of this record. So again, the album is Undulating Waves of Rainbiotic Iridescence by Gigan. This is released on Willowtip Records. Definitely go support this. And for a score, I'm going to give this a very solid 9 out of 10. Definitely one of the best technical death metal albums to grace 2017 this year. Absolute fire brawl of a record. So if you haven't heard this album, definitely let me know what you think about it, how you feel about it, and how you think it compares to previous Gigan full lengths. Are any of you guys into Gigan? Definitely let me know. I'm going to conclude this review. Thanks all for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until the next time, Armijo out.